today we'll be building image editor. So we can increase or decrease the brightness as well as the contrast, and we can increase the grayscale as well. Along with, we can rotate the image as well. We can rotate the image left, right, top and bottom. So we can do these things. Also, we can reset along with download the image of the, editing the image. So these are the features. Let's start by creating the HTML file. I'll just give this one index.html, right? So give me a second. Yeah, I'll just create the CSS file as well. I'll just name this one style.css. Let's wait for some time. Yep. What I'll do, I'll just come to index.html and I'll create a very basic HTML template. So next title, I'll just give image editor. Next, what I'll do, I'll just link the style sheet and give the style and path style.css. Next, what we'll do, we will start writing the HTML code. So first what I'll do, I'll just take the div tag. This will be the parent div, and give the class name container. So next, let me consider h1 tag, and I'll just give the same thing. I'll copy the same thing here. I'll paste it over here. I'll just make this I capital and E also capital. Here also I'll do the same thing. Like I also capital. So next, what I'll do, I'll just create one more div, and I'll just give the class name editor. Next, what we'll do, I'll just make use of the input. Type will be text itself. So here basically type will be file. So ID, I'll give upload. Also accept, one second, give me a second. Accept, I'll just give image, and also initially I'll give hidden. So this is it for the input. Let me consider label, and for I'll just give upload. Also class name, I'll give upload button. Just give the label name, choose file. So this is it for the label. Next, let me create one more div inside. So I'll give class name image container. So inside this one, I'll create image tag. So src, give me a second. What I'll do, I already have the this thing. What I have done is, I have just took the random image, the link address of some random image that is related to the upload button, right? So I have just given the link. You can copy paste the same thing, or you can give any random link that is related to the upload button. So next, what I'll do, I'll just take R, I'll just write inside the upload an image. So this is it for the image. Then after closing of this div tag, I'll just create one more div. Inside this div, first initially I'll just give class name controls. Then let me consider label. I'll give for brightness min. Initially let me give ID. This is just brightness basically. This is labeled, right? So I'll just give brightness over here. Then let me consider input. Type will be range here. We we have to like increase or decrease the brightness, right? For that purpose, I have taken type range. Next, I'll just take ID of brightness. Min will be 0. Max will be 200. Value initially will give 100. So that initially the value will be 100. When we can also decrease the brightness and also increase the brightness, right? So for that purpose, we are giving the initial value 100. So I'll just copy paste the same thing twice, just below this one. Let me paste one more time. Here, sorry, one second. Label, it will be contrast. And this one, this will be grayscale, right? So let me change the ID to contrast here. Instead of brightness, for will be contrast, and also ID. Let me change this one to contrast. Also, here this will be type range itself. So min, so max will be 100, and the value initially will set this one to grayscale, will set this one to 0. We don't want to, like, will not be having the option to decrease in the grayscale, right? Will be just increasing. Initial value will keep it to 0. So what I'll do, I'll just change this one to ID to grayscale. Here also label for, I'll give this one to grayscale. So this is it. Let me check once if I've done anything. So yeah, this is it. Next, what I'll do after this input, right? So let me consider one more tip. Also, we want 4 buttons for, for rotating the image left, right, up and down, right? For that one, we'll consider 4 buttons. Initially, let me give class of rotate buttons in this div, right? So next, I'll consider 4 button, as I have said. So once. So here, what I'll do, I'll just give the name rotate left, rotate right. This will be, next will be rotate up. The last one will be rotate down, right? These are the 4 things. Next, let's give ID and class name also, right? For this one, I'll just hold the Alt button. Give me a second. So I'll just hold the Alt button and give rotate. Initially, I'll just give all of them rotate right. Next, let's change it. Also, class name for all the 4, I'll just give rotate button, right? So here it will be right, up. Also, this will be down. So initially, so for the class name, sorry, for all the 4 buttons, the class name will be rotate button itself. So this is it. After this closing of this div tag, we just need 2 more buttons. One is reset and one is download, right? I'll just give ID of reset and name the button as reset itself. Also, next what I'll do, I'll just consider one more button. I'll just give the name download, and I'll set the ID to download. So why this reset and download button? After, if we have done any mistake and if we want to reset the image to initial image, then we can press this, click on this reset button. For download button, so after editing, if you want to download the image, edited image, then we can make use of the download button. So this is it for the HTML. Let me format this document once. So next what I'll do, let's start writing the CSS, right? So we have already linked the style sheet. Let's start writing the CSS. What I want is, I want to make use of the Poetson 1 family font. For that one second, I'll just make use of this one. What do you call? Poetson font. For that one, I'll just open Google Fonts. Click on Google Fonts. Here, I'll just search for Poetson. Click on the first one. Get font. Get embed code. Import. So here, I'll just copy this one, right? So I'll just paste the same thing over here. I'll just make use of the universal selector. Let me give margin 0, padding 0, also font family. Let me make use of the Poetson one, right? I'll just go here. I'll just copy the same thing here, font family, right? Just press C. Copy this one. Sorry, I'll just delete this one. So next what I'll do, I'll just consider the body. Let's start writing the CSS. Display, flex, justify content, center, align items, center, height, 100 view height, background, 1. So color will be white. Also font size I'll give 1.5 m. So next what I'll do, let's style for the container. So I'll just go here, we'll just copy this one, container, just paste it over here. So next, let's start writing the styles. I'll just give background 1E, 1E, 1E. So color white, padding of 20 pixel, border radius of 10 pixel, also box shadow 0, 10 pixel, 20 pixel. I'll just make use of the RGBA. This one 255, 255, 255 and 0.2. I'll just take this one. Next, let me give max width of 600 pixel, width of 100%, text align, center, transition of all 0.3 seconds, sorry, and I'll just take ease, right? So then let's style for the container itself, but on forward. So box shadow, I'll just copy the same thing here, what I have given, paste it over here. So this will be 0 instead of 10. I'll just make this one 20, 40. This will be, instead of 0.2, it will be 0.4. So let me close this one. Then let's style for the H1, right? So I'll just go here. I'll copy the H1. I'll paste it over here. So next what I'll do, margin bottom of 20 pixel, font size of 2 rem, right? H1. Next, let's style for the editor. So I'll just come here. I'll just copy this one, class of editor, right? So let me give the editor. Let's start writing the style. Display of flex direction, column, also align items, center. Next, let's style for the upload button. So where is this upload button? This one, right? So I'll just copy this one, paste it over here. Upload button. Let me give margin bottom of 20 pixel, padding of 10 pixel and 20 pixel, background of linear gradient. Initially, I'll just set this one to right, and the color I'll give FF 7E 5F, also SEB 47B. So this is it for the background. Color black, border none, border radius 5 pixel, cursor, pointer, transition, background of 0.3 seconds is also transform 0.3 seconds is something. Then font size, I'll just give 1 rem, display of inline block. This is it for the upload button. Next, let's style for the upload button itself on hover. So I'll just give hover. Let me make use of the transform. I'll just give scale of 1.05. Next, let's style for the image container. I'll just go here. So where is image container? Sorry, this one, right? I'll just copy this one. We'll paste it over here. So let me consider, I'll just give width of 100%, max width of 200 pixels, height, auto, margin bottom of 20 pixel. Next, let's style for the image inside the image container, right? Image container, this one. So we'll be styling for this one. I'll just copy this image and I'll paste it over here. So again, here also I'll give width of 100%, border radius of 10 pixel, box shadow. Let me copy this where we have given made use of the box shadow, right? I'll just copy this one and make changes. So here it will be 0, 5 pixel, 15 pixel, and also this will be, instead of 0.4, it will be 0.3. Next, let's style. Let's continue styling. I'll just give transform of, or I'll just make use of the transform origin. So transform origin, both. I'll just give center and center. So this is it for the image inside the image container class. So next, let's style for the controls. So where is this controls coming from? This one, right? Div class of controls we have given in the index.html. I'll just copy the same thing. Controls, let me give width of 100%, max width of 500 pixel, text align or left. I'll give. Then I want to style for the label inside the controls class. I'll just give controls here also. Let's go to index.html and copy the label. We will style for all the labels, right? I'll just copy the label. Let me give display block margin 5 pixel, font weight, bold, color 7E 5, right? This is it for the label inside the control class. So next we'll style for the input, right? Under the control class again. So I'll just write the controls again. Here I'll just copy the input. Let me give this one and I'll just copy the type equals range, right? I'll just copy this thing. Let me give type equals range. So width, let me give 100%, margin bottom of 10 pixel. So cursor pointer. So this is it for the input, right? Next, let's style for the rotate buttons. I'll just come here. So where are the rotate buttons? Basically the 4 buttons we have considered, right? So where are these 4 buttons? This one, right? I'll just copy the whole thing. This one, then paste it over here. Rotate buttons, let me give display of flex, justify content, space between, also margin of 20 pixel and 0, color black. Let's style for the individual rotate button, right? So what I'll do, so this one, right? Rotate button and rotate button we have given. I'll just copy this one. So same thing, right? And let's start writing the CSS. And padding 10 pixel, background linear gradient of, let me give to right, double F 7E 5F hash FEV color black, border, let me give none, also border radius of 5 pixel, cursor pointer, transition, background 0.3 seconds is transform 0.3 seconds is. Next, what I'll do, font size 0.9 run, flex of 1, margin 0, 5 pixel, right? This is it for the rotate button. Next, what we'll do, we'll style for the rotate button itself on hover. So I'll just consider the hover. I'll just make use of the transform scale of 1.05. This is for the rotate button on hover. Next, let's write styles for the reset and download button, right? So I'll just copy the reset. So where is the reset? ID of reset we have given here. I'll just copy this one. I'll paste it over here. So what I'll do, I'll just consider margin top of 10 pixel, margin left of 20 pixel, padding of 10 pixel and 20 pixel horizontally and vertically. Background, horizontally and vertically. Next, let me give the background. I'll just consider linear gradient of initially to right 8A0707. Next, what I'll do, let me give white. So 1 second, I'll make use of the color black. Let me give border none, border radius 5 pixel, cursor pointer, transition of background 0.3 seconds is transform 0.3 seconds is, right? So next, what I'll do, I'll just consider font size of 1 run. Font size of 1 run, right? This is it for the reset. Next, let's style for the download button. So let me copy paste the same thing basically. So what I'll do, just paste it over here. This one, let me copy the download button right here. So I'll just delete this one and paste the download. Instead of the linear gradient here, for the reset button, we have given the red color. Here, we'll give green color rather. So to right, I'll just give light green also and white itself. So this is it for the reset and download button. Let me format this one once. Next, we'll start writing the styles, right? So the same thing, reset on hover, and also we'll style for the download button on hover. So what I'll do, let me make use of the transform scale of 1.05, right? So next, what we'll do, we'll style for the, this is it for the CSS. What I'll do, initially let's format the document style.css and index.html. So what I'll do, what I have done is, I have installed an extension called live server. Let me search for the live server. So basically this one, what this will do, whatever the changes that we make in the HTML, right, this will get directly reflected in the browser, so that we don't have to reload the web page again and again, right, to see the changes. So it will be really helpful. You guys can install it as well. So I'll just close this one. let me right click on the index.html file and click on open with live server. So let's wait for some time until it opens the web page, right? So yeah, we'll close this one. Initially, this is looking like this. Let me check for the responsiveness. So yeah, let's make this little responsive and look good on all the devices, right? For that one, let's write the media queries. I'll just give media max width of 600 pixel. Let's style for the body first. Padding, I'll just take 10 pixel. This is it for the body. Next, let's style for the container. Padding, I'll just give 15 pixel. Next, let's style for the H1. Font size, let's decrease this font size to 1.5 rem. Also, let's style for controls. Let's give font size of 0.9 rem. Also, sorry, this has to be controls input of type range we have taken, right? I'll just type this one and just follow along with me. Let me close this one. So I'll just give height of 5 pixel. Next, let's style for the rotate buttons. So this one, flex direction, I'll give column. Finally, the last one, for the single rotate button, we are giving margin of 5 pixel and 0 horizontally and vertically. So I'll just format this document once. This is it for the HTML and CSS, right? So I'll just let me press F12. So this looks good, right? So let me check on the still smaller device. So not this one, Surface 2. Check for Galaxy Z. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, this looks good, basically. So what we'll do next is, we have to choose the file. Initially, now also we can choose the file. After choosing the file, here we'll display the we'll be choosing the image basically. Whatever the image we have taken, the image will be displayed over here. The upload button the upload button is visible, right? This image. So we'll display the real image, what we have chosen, and for that image we should be able to edit the brightness, contrast, as well as the grayscale, right? Also, we will be able to rotate the image left, right, bottom, and up. So down and up, right? Also, if something goes wrong, if you want to reset the image to the initial position, then we can click on the reset. Also, after editing, we can click on download to download the image. These functionalities, what we'll do with the help of the JavaScript, will be doing these things. So what I'll do, I'll just create index.js. So let me include this index.js after the body. What I'll do, I'll just make use of the script tag src. I'll just give index.js. Let me format this document once. Index.js, right? Let's start writing the JavaScript code. So initially what I'll do is we'll add the event listeners for various elements. So I'll just comment this one and I'll write event listeners for various elements, right? So let me consider document dot get element by id of upload. So where is this upload coming from? So upload, ID of upload we have given in the input, right? I'll just take this one and I'll paste it over here. So let me make use of add event listener of change, also the function load image. So we have not written the load image function yet. We'll be writing that one in future. So I'll just copy the same thing. I'll paste this one 5 times. So yeah, this will be brightness. So where is the brightness coming from? So this one, right? ID of brightness we have given here. Input, if you can see, I'll just copy this one and I'll paste it over here. Next, it will be contrast and grayscale, right? So I'll just copy this one, ID of contrast. I'll paste it over here. Also, this one will be grayscale. So I'll just go here, copy the grayscale. What I'll do, I'll paste it over here. Next, it will be reset and download, right? So for that one, just delete this thing. Just go here, reset, ID of reset. I'll just copy this one, paste it over here. Finally, download, right? I'll just come here, download. I'll just copy this one and paste it over here. This one, instead of load image, it will be update image. These functions that I'm mentioning, we have not written these functions yet. We'll be writing in the future. So I'll just, the second one will be update image. Third one will be update image as well. And fourth one will also be update image. So, and the fifth one will be a reset image. Also, the final, it will be download image, right? So this is one thing. Next, what we'll do, we'll add the event listeners for the rotation buttons. What are the rotation buttons that we have made use in the index.html file? These 4 buttons, right? If you can see, rotate left, rotate right, rotate up and down. We'll be adding the event listeners to those buttons. I'll just write event listeners for rotation buttons. So I'll just make use of document dot get element by ID. Let me consider rotate left. So here rotate left, right? Sorry, I'll just copy this one, ID of rotate left, and then paste it over here. Let me add the event listener of click the function pointing to rotate image, right? So give me a second. Just give me a second. Rotate image, still we have not written this function. We'll be writing this function in the future. So I'll just take the rotate image of minus 90, right? I'll just copy, paste the same thing thrice just below this one, right? So instead of rotate left, this one will be rotate right. I'll just change it over here itself. You know that these things are coming from here. ID of rotate right, rotate up and down. I'll just change this one here itself. Next one will be up and the final one will be down. So add event listener. These things will be click itself, rotate image, minus 90 degree I have given. This will be 90 degree. And instead of this thing, this will be 0 and this will be 100. Sorry, not 100, 180. Yeah, for the down. So this is it. Then what we'll do, we'll get the image element and initialize the rotation angle, right? I'll just comment this one. Get the image element and initialize rotation angle. So I'll just give let image equals document dot get element by id of image current rotation. I'll just give 0. ID of image, basically where this image is coming from. Here we have given image somewhere, right? Give me a second. This one. One second. So what I have done is I have forgotten to give ID here. So I'll just add ID of image. So the same thing we have given here, image. I have initialized current rotation to 0. So next what we'll do, so we'll write the function to load an image when selected by the user, right? We have to load the image while we upload the image, right? So I'll just write function to load an image when selected by the user. So I'll just create function load image. So I said here we'll be writing the load image function, right? This is the one. So I'll just make use of const load image. So I'll pass event, right, as a parameter. So what I'll do, I'll just make use of the file variable name. Let me give event dot target dot files of 0. Then I'll be making use of if condition. If file is found, then I'll just make use of the variable name reader. I'll set this one to new file reader function. Then reader, make use of onload to function. Just call the function of e. Will be passing the event. So then I'll just set this one image src. What we'll do, I'll just set this one to event dot target dot result. Next what I'll do, I'll just be making use of reset filters. We have not written this. Basically this function will write this one in the future. I'll just comment this out. Reset image filters, right? So then what I'll do, I'll just make use of the current rotation and I'll just set this one to 0. Finally, just set the style to transform. I'll just make use of the template literals. Just give rotate of current rotation of degree. So this is nothing but we are resetting the image rotation, right? I'll just comment this one and write reset image rotation. So after this, it's just called reader read as data URL, right? So of which one? File that we have uploaded. So this is it for the load image function. Next, we'll write the function to update the image filters. We have to update the image filters, right? Based on what? Based on the input range that we give. So I'll just comment this one and write function to update image filters based on input range values. So you just make use of const update range. I'll just give, sorry, it's the update image itself. This one, the second one, we have made use of, right? Second, third one, fourth one. The function update image. So I forgot. So yeah, I just make use of the variable name brightness. Let me make use of document get elements by ID of brightness, right? We have to get the value, right? So for that thing, I'll just be copying this one. So just paste it over here. So we have to get the value. As I said, I'll be making use of value. So this is just value. So I'll copy the same thing twice after the first one. So I'll just make this. This one will be contrast, and the third one will be grayscale. So here, instead of brightness, we'll be giving contrast, right? So I'll just go here. I'll just copy this ID contrast. I'll paste this one. Again, I'll delete here. I'll just go to HTML file. ID of grayscale we have given here. I'll just copy this one and I'll paste it over here. So this is for the update image. Finally, what I'll do, I'll just make use of style of filter and set this one using the template literals, that is brightness. So I'll just give brightness. Next, I'll just use contrast. This will be contrast. Next, this grayscale. This will be grayscale itself, percentage. So this is it for the update image function. Next, what we'll do, let's write the function to rotate the image by a specified angle. So whenever we rotate right, whenever we click on the rotate right, rotate left button, based on the angles, we have to rotate the image right. For that one, we'll be writing the function. I'll just comment this one and write function to rotate the image by a specified angle. So I'll just make use of the const rotate image. So we have already mentioned this one. This will be, I'll just be taking the parameter degrees. What did I do here? Yeah. So I'll just make use of the if condition. If initially, if the decrease is equal to 0, what we'll do? Current rotation will be 0 itself. We'll set this one to 0. Else, current rotation will be current rotation plus decrease 360. Finally, what we'll do, just set the die transform to, and just make use of the template literals, rotate current rotation degree, right? So this is the third one. Next, what we'll do, we'll write the function to reset image filters and rotation. Whenever we click on the reset button, the image has to reset to its initial state. For that one, we'll be making use of we'll be writing the function. So I'll just comment this one and write function to reset image, filters, and rotation. So for this one, I'll just take launch, reset image, so I'll just make use of document dot get element by ID. Again, we'll be making use of brightness, contrast, and grayscale, right? I'll just copy this from here itself rather going to the HTML file. So I'll paste it over here. Brightness, we need value. We'll set the value to 100 initially, right? So we'll reset the brightness range input value to 100 whenever we click on the reset button. So same we do to the contrast as well as a contrast to 100, but the grayscale initially will be 0 itself, right? When writing the HTML, I had explained initially it will be 0. So we'll set that one to the 0, grayscale to 0, brightness and contrast to initial value 100. So what I'll do, just make use of, I'll just copy the same thing. Instead, I'll paste this one twice, right? This one, instead of brightness, this will be contrast. Just copy this one, paste it over here. So brightness, instead of brightness, this will be grayscale. I'll just copy this one and I'll paste it over here. The value we are setting to 0, right? So then what we'll do, we'll reset the rotation angle. For that one, what I'll do, current rotation, we'll set this one to 0. Finally, we'll reset the image rotation as well. For that one, I'll use style, transform. Let me make use of the template editorials. Rotate, current rotation. Let me give degree here. So this is it for the reset image function. Next, what we'll do, we'll write the function to reset the image filters, right? Give me a second, 1 second. Yeah. Next, what we'll do, as I've said, we'll write the function to reset image filters. I'll just comment this one and write, function to reset image filters. So what I'll do, I just give the function name, reset filters. So I'll just make use of filter. Give me a second. Brightness of 100%. So I have to close here, right? And also contrast of 100%. Finally, grayscale. I should have copied this one. It's fine. Grayscale of 100%. So this is it for the reset filters function. So next, finally, what we'll do, we'll write the function to download the edited image. After we edit the image, right? We should be able to download that image as well, right? So we'll write the function for it. So I'll just comment this one and write function to download the edited image. So I'll just make use of download image. So I'll just make use of the variable name canvas and let me create the element, just make use of create element, and what will create? Canvas, right? So let me make use of the variable name context, and let me give get context of 2D. So next, let me make use of the variable name image and make it document dot get element by id of image, right? Let me make use of width. I'll just give this one as natural width. Height, I'll just take image, instead of width I'll give natural height. So next, let's set the canvas width equals width, also canvas height to height. Sorry, this has to be. Next, what we'll do, we'll apply the image filters and rotation to the canvas. Apply image filters and rotation to the canvas. So what I'll do, I'll just make use of the context filter. I'll just set this one to style dot fill. Next, again I'll make use of the context. This time we'll make use of translate width by 2, also height by 2. Then rotate, we'll just consider current rotation, math dot by 100. This is one thing. Finally, we'll make use of, one second, did I miss here? Yeah, context. We'll make use of draw image of image, as well as I'll just give the minus width by 2, also minus height by 2. This is nothing but what we have done. We have applied the image filters and rotation to the canvas, right? So this is what we have done. Finally, what we'll do, we'll create a link element to trigger the image download. So whenever, what is meant by this is, whenever we click on the download button, right, we have to get the link and we have to download that image, right? For that one, what I'll do, I'll just comment this one and write, first create a linked element to trigger image download. So I'll just make use of const length document create element of a, I'll give link, we'll set the href to canvas to data URLs. We had made use of it, this one earlier, right? If you remember. So I'll just set this one to image slash will be downloading in the JPEG format, right? JPEG format. So next, what I'll do, and just set the link download equals, we'll get the name of the image as the edited image dot jpg I'll give. So finally, what we'll do, link dot click, just this one. This is to simulate the click to trigger the download. I'll just write this one for the reference. Simulate click to trigger download, right? So this is it for the JavaScript. So what I'll do, I'll just format this document once. So I'll format all the document once. Let's check now. Let's go to Chrome. So what I'll do, initially choose file, or instead of choose file, we could have given the choose image as well. No problem. I'll just go to desktop. I have the image with me. So what I'll do, I'll just take this flower image. So image is not getting displayed, right? Give me a second. Is anything wrong, or we are not getting the... So yeah, there is some problem. Let's check what mistake we have done, right? So I'll just tell you what are all the mistakes that I have done. Here, the event listener, this has to be click, right? For the these things, I mean reset and the download buttons. This is not changed. I forgot to change this one actually. Line number 6 and 7, and then let's come to line number 33. Here we have passed the event E, but below I have given the event, so this has to be E. Then let's come to line number 34. This is not the mistake basically. I have just given RESE instead of the reset, right? We'll change this one. This looks odd basically. Here also the function name should be reset. So these two things. Then here in the line number 71, in the reset filters, grayscale, we are setting this one to the initial percentage. Grayscale also we have set it to 100%. This has to be 0%, right? This is one thing. Finally, here basically, so while writing current rotation into math.py by, it should be 180, not 100. So I had explained earlier, but I forgot to change this one to 180 instead of 100. So these are all the things. I had made mistake. Those are all typo mistakes, actually typos basically. I'll just format this document once. Let me come here. So I'll just try to upload the image. So I'll just have one image. So still the image is not getting uploaded, right? So what's the problem? Let's check again. So what I'll do is, we'll move the event listeners for the rotation buttons and event listeners for the various elements. We will remove this one. I mean, we'll move this one finally to the completely bottom, right? I'll just move this one, paste it over here. So I'll just format this once. Let's check again. So I'll just choose file. I'll give this avatar. So yeah, now this is working. You can see the avatar, right? Image. Let me increase the brightness. This is working, right? So we are able to increase the brightness. Also, let me decrease the brightness. So we can decrease the brightness as well. So I'll just increase the brightness, and we can, let's check for the contrast as well. We can decrease or increase the contrast as well, right? I'll just increase the contrast, or let me decrease the contrast. Finally, I'll just move the grayscale. We can see the changes here. So these three are working properly. Then let me click on rotate left. Rotate left is working properly. Also, let me click on rotate right. This is also working properly. Rotate down. Finally, rotate up. These things are working properly, right? When I click on the rotate, this is coming to the normal. Also, let me do one thing. Let me Yeah, this will be this itself. I'll just increase the brightness, decrease the contrast. Also, let me increase the grayscale. Finally, this time will not be resetting. I'll just click on download button. So the download functionality is also working fine. Let me open this one. Let me click here, right? So we can see the edited image. This works properly. So I just close this one. Every functionality we have checked, that is working properly. This is it. Thanks for watching, guys.